quick. Can I address these point by point as you bring them up? Because I think I know all three of the points, but can we go one point?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's start with the first one, the financials.
Yeah, so man, when he is dating, he's spending lots of money, and he is actually the time and resources chasing women and so on. No, it's the first point. Hold on. Now, when you're committed to one woman...
point at a time.
That's one point. That's the first one. I didn't finish it. Hold on.
Okay, no problem.
When man is committed to one woman, all of the resources are staying in the family, in that relationship. A ton of time is being saved, which a man can invest into working or, and so on. So this is the first point. So we'll look at the financial.
So
you want to address. Let's go.
On average, how much more are married men making than single men?
Statistically, married men are making between 30 to 40% more than single men.
I don't think it's quite that high, but even hang on. Let's assume for a second that it is. Their expenses are also 30 to 40% higher when they're married with children. So the thing is that it's a really strange argument to say that, wait, if you're married, you're going to make more money. Because if you're single, you're not going to need to make as much money.
Hey,
right?
I didn't say...
is that, hang on. So let me finish. So if your earning potential suddenly rises to meet the demand of the family because now you must make that much money, I'm not really sure that that's a compelling argument for a single man who says, but absent a family, I don't need to make that kind of money. So it seems like a wash to me.
Well, my point was not about men making more money. My point was about men actually saving lots of time on chasing women, trying to find a partner, and spending money on the dates or taking them out or traveling and so on.
Wait, hang on. That makes no sense. So because Brian's saying, why should I get married? You're saying, well, one of the reasons is because financially, you can then focus the vast majority of your money on your family. Oh, well, that's great. And you'll even make a little more money. Well, that's great, too. But the problem you run into is, but if I have no family, I don't need to make as much money. Exactly. So who cares?
Okay.
Right? That seems like a pretty glaring problem, right?
Now, second point, right? It's kind of connected to that. So again, statistically, it had been proven that men who are married and who have kids, they are more motivated to make more money, and it just wakes up man in him, that he is able to step up, he is able to reach his fullest potential as a man.
Depends which woman you have beside.
Hang on, before you characterize it as meeting their full potential, right? Perhaps their full potential is to be a poet, or perhaps their full potential is to do something that doesn't earn a lot of money, and that is unlocking their full potential, right? Why should we assume that just because, they make more money because they need to, or they can't support their family, their kids will starve if they don't work an additional 20 hours per week, right? Yeah. Why should we assume that that's unlocking their full potential exactly?
Well, we are talking about bringing the points for Brian, right? So
for Brian. I'm saying for Brian,
right.
Why should we assume that because now Brian has to work 20 more hours a week, thus he does make more money, but he has to make that money so he can raise the family? I don't understand how that's unlocking Brian's potential.
I'm not saying that he's going to be working 20 more hours per week or whatever. It will just activate the resources in his life through...
But he would have to work if he had more kids.
But hold on.
Wait. What do you mean activate where do you think these resources in his life are going to come from? Are they going to magic themselves out of thin air, or is he going to have to work for them?
Of course he has to work for them.
Wait, but hold
on. So then if he's making more resources, my assumption is going to be that he's doing more work, right?
Exactly.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, but hold on. So, okay.
Well, I think necessary. I think it follows pretty well, right?
Yeah, but so hold on.
More work, more resources.
Again, but I'm still a little bit confused here because you said, well, if you have a wife and children, what if I have a monogamous long-term girlfriend and children?
We'll get to that.
What's the difference? But you said
better.
It'll motivate you more.
Okay.
But I could have that same motivation from a girlfriend, and I could have kids with her out of wedlock.
You can't. So I was going to bring up my third point.
No. But explain why I can't.
You want me to explain why you can't?
Well, okay. I can certainly have children without being married.
Yes.
You agree with that? Okay.
Yeah.
So I would argue that that's probably the bigger, having children is the bigger motivator than just simply being married. Okay. So I can have children out of wedlock, and then I can have a long-term girlfriend. So what is the difference between being married and having children and being in a long-term relationship and monogamous and having children? What is the differentiation there?
I didn't get to my third point yet. And
Only in
you
a
already-
woman
So,
imagines.
but
When it comes to
listen,
motivation, though, I'm sticking on to your second point. When it comes to the motivation component, is your third point going to address the differential in motivation?
it is going to address the connection with the when you are in marriage and relationship. It's going to address the
But is it gonna-
intimacy and connection, where your partner is actually going to be backing you no matter what, and your partner is going to be by your side, and you will be growing together. And it is the connection that is important. That typically when you are in just a relationship and you went with divorce rate. Divorce rate happens when you choose poorly. Yes, and it is high divorce rate.
I don't
when you
think.
choose
Oh, so
poorly.
it's the men's fault. Okay.
I'm not saying it's man's fault. I'm not saying. Did you hear? Did
No, you
did
said when the man chooses poorly.
No, I said when
one-
person chooses poorly. So women, they can
But
make a
women
poor
overwhelm-
choice
women-
as well.
Yeah,
of
they
course.
can, but women
But
overwhelmingly
divorce,
initiate divorce.
Exactly.
I don't know statistics on that.
It's like 70 to 80% of
Can I add
divorces
something?
are
Well,
initiated
you
by
see,
women.
when you choose the woman who actually has the values and right values for the family, that's when you end up in a percentage of secure relationship
If I could add
and without the
something.
divorce.
I
Go
think
ahead.
in addition to what you were saying regarding like passion and kind of emphasizing the relationship through marriage, regardless, that's still applicable in any term of relationship, whether it be long term without marriage and that of in marriage. So I can still have the same passion per se in a relationship with Brian where I'm connecting to him and I'm giving him all of my support constantly, regardless of being with a ring, regardless of having a ceremony. I can still actively do that. That's completely just up to my integrity and to the passion that I have for that one person. So that's not to say that that's incapable and impossible for somebody that's in a long-term or short-term committed relationship. That's still applicable. What you guys are emphasizing is just somebody's choosing to give that emphasis in passion. That is applicable. So that isn't a valid point. Somebody just being married doesn't mean that they're always going to give passion, care, and have the charisma
opposite,
to actually
yeah.
to emphasize their whatever. It's
Then
an
they're
insurance
wrong.
to have.
Then they're in the wrong. They should.
Can I-
Because they committed to it. So yeah, that's fair.
So
It's-
what?
it's-
Wait, hold on. I know you wanted to come in, but I want her to finish point number 3, and then Andrew wanted to come in, so go ahead.
Well, my point number 3 was actually about that true connection that people have and being able to reach to those, to the deepest level of intimacy, which is when people are holding themselves back, which actually addresses what you just shared. When people not willing to make a full commitment, it's like they're restricting they're putting walls. So for the woman to fully commit, when man is not committing fully, he is almost like helping her to activate their insecurities, of some sort of insecurities in her. When woman knows that man is 100% committed, that gives her peace.
Yeah,
in
this.
her
Well, I
soul
think that
and
should
her-
happen prior
Yeah,
to
so
marriage.
let me give you kind of the
Exactly.
counter argument to this is that that's a very gynocentric view, right? Oh, well, if you marry her, then it'll activate your resources.
Only-
Well, hang on, let me finish.
If you pick the
It'll
right one
activate-
with the values.
Hang on. I just let you put your whole point out. Let me put mine out, and you can counter it, okay? It activates his resources, resource level activated, right? The button is pushed, and now the resources, he's going to be making that money for her, taking care of her. How kind of her to allow him to activate those resources for her. And then when we move to your third point here, it's if you give her the commitment, she won't be so insecure. Well, how great and swell for her that she won't be as insecure if you commit to her and can then have your entire life wrecked, destroyed, and become fleeced because of
If
these
you choose
overwhelming
poorly.
because of these overwhelming percentages of women doing that to you. So
If you choose
Can I add
all of this,
something?
all of this seems highly gynocentric, and it's putting basically all the responsibility on the men, as far as I can see.
No, Andrew, I have high respect for you. But again, I want to talk, I was talking about when men chooses high value woman. Woman is the one who actually creates the relationship. She has to be the love and care and joy and support, she has to be 100% committed. Everything starts with the woman, first of all. So high-value woman, she will be backing her man no matter what. No matter the troubles
Yes,
he is going
that's
through,
true.
no matter the financial challenges, no matter his habits or whatever. She is by his side. She is becoming that fuel of the relationship. Woman is capable of either inspire her man and motivate her man for all kinds of things that he didn't even know possible. And we go for everything, the financial, the sexual, the emotional, and everything starts with the woman.
Yeah,
If
that
woman
just seems
is a-
like really basic stuff, though. Like you're kind of the way that you're framing it. You're almost framing this as like this is a really special thing that a man gets, that they have a basic level of loyalty from a woman, and she's not being a backstabbing bitch, right? Like that just seems like that just seems like a really basic thing that they should be doing anyway, and not like it's extra. It's not. It doesn't feel like
wanna
it's an
add something.
extra thing that you should be getting on. You know what I
But
mean?
if it is so basic, why women are not doing it? That's where, I mean, the results, what is going on, right? Why the guys
Well,
are
I
feeling
think-
deprived of the love, attention, gratitude, appreciation. So if it is so basic, then why women don't do it? We have the pandemic of men who feel
Well, I think
that don't
it's because
get
they get
love from
I think
the woman.
it's because they listen to women too often. I think that that's one of the primary reasons that they listen to terrible fucking advice from women all the time.
No,
when
they're
women
switching to
express what they
porn.
think. Here's the thing. Here's what I've learned from doing this podcast so much. Here's what I've learned. Right? It's not just that that women have really stupid takes a lot of the time. But it's also that women give each other some of the worst fucking advice I've ever heard,
Yes.
but they really give men bad advice.
Exactly.
They give
Women should
men-
not
they give
get advice
men
from
Andrew,
women.
can I add
terrible
something?
advice about what it is that they actually want. I mean, fucking terrible advice, right? So every time I hear
Judgmental
about
women,
one of these,
that's-
the next woman who's like, look, the last guy I was with was a narcissistic jerk, and he was an awful junkie, and he was emotionally abusive. And we go, really? Well, how long were you with him? And they're like, 6 years. Well, okay, what about your last relationship? Oh, he was great. How long did that last? 2 months, right? And I think to myself, okay, there's some disconnect that's going on here. Right?
Yeah,
There's
so
some
what
kind
you
of
are
disconnect
describing,
going
Andrew,
on.
something,
Because the
please.
thing that you, hang on, I'm almost done. The thing you claim you hate seems to be the thing that you go for the most, and then you kind of pretend that that's not what you want, and it's super weird to me. I don't understand it. And then when I hear your
Can
advice,
I-
your advice is like gynocentrism, gynocentrism, gynocentrism. Tell me this specifically. What the fuck is a man getting here besides just basic human decency from a woman under your program?
Exactly.
Like, what does he actually get?
So, Andrew, what you are describing low-value woman. First of all, it is not high quality. The low-quality woman will go to her girlfriends and will speak badly about her man, and she will get the understanding of her girlfriends. Yes, the high-value woman, she will not be speaking badly about her man. She will, first of all, she will not judge him for his actions. She will look in the root.
Can I add
Where
something?
it is actually coming from, his behavior, his
Yeah,
emotions.
I know, but that sounds like it sounds like that's the basic expectation men should have in a relationship. It's a very basic. I'm asking above this idea of a basic expectation that I would get from a friend. So I would expect a friend of mine to also not be a backbiting, conniving piece of shit, and to get my back in the
Well,
various
men and women
situations I
operate
find myself
differently.
in.
Can I-
even if he didn't, hang on, even if he didn't agree with me. So what am I getting above that of what I would get from just a basic friend from this gynocentric program of yours? Give me the thing that I get.
You get complete 100% emotional connection. You get support.
I don't think
you
you
get,
Not in
necessarily
every
need-
the
marriage.
person who actually hears
not
you,
true to every
hears your
marriage.
needs, and
Hi,
they're
that- That's what I
100%.
always
I-
wanted, deep emotional connection
None
with a
of this
woman.
is guaranteed.
Right? That's
Can
what I
I-
always want. I wish
can I
Santa
please-
Claus would bring it to me my whole life. A deep emotional connection with a woman. That sounds awful. It sounds awful. The thing is, it's like,
Unfortunately.
you know what I think? You know what I've noticed most men want? They want a really shallow emotional connection with women. They don't want a deep emotional connection.
That's
Right?
the
They don't-
society what
and-
creates
Not all
men
men.
and women right now. Everybody,
Not
yes,
all
the
men.
shallow.
Can
but
I?
that's
Yeah.
where AI comes in, and that's where AI is going to destroy the humanity.
Go ahead.
Okay, I want to, first of all, I want to say that it's not just men are like this or just women are like this. We are all human beings and we're all doing things wrong. Second thing, first of all, if I were a man, I would not get married since I know women so well. And unfortunately, I do have amazing girlfriends that I love, that I know that they're amazing. But the majority of women out there are damaged from social media, from growing up, from whatever it is, right? But like Andrew said, if a man wants to get married today, what's the point? You understand? What? For having kids, he can have a donor. If he wants somebody to clean his house or cook for him, he can pay for that nowadays. And today, unfortunately, most of the women looking just for a provider without giving the work and the effort for the men. But if a man lucky enough to meet a good woman, like for example this woman that look like she's loyal to her husband.
Thank you. That's so
Okay, if men lucky enough to meet the right woman that would be there for him, okay, I would go to that extreme, even if he cheats, or even if I'm not talking about a guy to go every day with a different woman, but even if he traveled and he had something with another woman, she would be strong and smart enough not even to mention that, right? Because men and women built completely different than one another. And to have a relationship within the marriage, women, unfortunately, we are born to have a certain amount of time to have kids, to raise the kids, and to grow up gracefully. And now the women don't want that. They want to extend it for a long term, to do whatever the hell they want. They want to abuse men after they have babies and emotionally confused with the hormones and everything. A lot of the women treat men like, sorry to say, but like shit. And a lot of the women that I know like 5 clients at least, for the last 2 months, they're telling me how they're cheating their men very, very creatively. And when I'm looking and hearing these stories, I'm saying, what's the wonder that a lot of men don't want to get committed? And what's the wonder that a man go on a date and prejudge a woman when you have so many women like that that's the only thing they care?
Can I
You
bring up the
understand?
point made up in the comment recently? You might have. And her point in the comment was basically, I think she said she was from Uruguay. Or
Uruguay.
It's below the threshold.
Oh,
It was like
no,
Ar-
sorry.
it was like
She just
Argentinian.
made a good.
We're not gonna. I mean, we just for the sake of the other people who
Not to
donate
reference.
above the threshold.
Okay, no. So then I'll
I
talk
think
about something
1,000
else.
in Argentina is like it has to be USD. So
So in Costa Rica, for example, I traveled to Costa Rica. I stay with the host family in Costa Rica, and I remember her telling me that there, like 10% of the people that are together with kids are actually married. It's the expectancy that you stay with your person. They don't need this contract in order to then go above and beyond, like you're kind of mentioning. It's where you find your person. You're always with your person. You raise kids with this person, and you don't need a legal binding contract in order to confess your love or prove your love to a person.
Yeah,
so
and
I
then
agree.
like I'm sorry if I forgot your name. Sheena said, the good woman, she would be okay with the man cheating on her. Would you be
Not
okay
cheating
with
on
your
a
husband? No.
not cheating. No, that you didn't get what I'm saying. I'm not saying if I have a man that every day he go out and sleep with women, but if my husband is loyal to me, loyalty not always based on sexual activity. If he did something and I don't know about it, I don't want to know about it. Sometimes cheating actually helped the marriage.
But that's where that means that you don't have the true intimacy in a relationship.
That's not
because-
true because men build different. Men build to sleep with multiple women. Women build
He
to be
does
with
not
one
have the
man. One
support
man.
necessary from
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you saying that you want your man to cheat on you?
No, I don't want my man to cheat on me, but I'm saying sometimes a man can be with a woman that she's trash and come back home and appreciate what he's got at home. You understand? When a woman cheats,
Yeah, I mean,
think that
no,
she
hang
cheats-
on, hang on. Just listen.
Women
hang on.
cheat
Let's
because-
explore the Okay, listen, hang on, because you have kind of a habit of going on some kind of long-winded diatribe. So I want to
Sorry.
kind of nail some of this down, okay? So when you're talking about a specific situation where like a man can step out and realize he had something better at home, I agree. Like for the sake of argument, it logically makes sense to me that could happen
Yeah.
in some cases, right?
Yeah.
But it also makes sense to me that that's doing something fucking horrible to
Of
your
course.
woman. You would agree with that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, you would recommend men don't do that, correct?
Of course, I recommend not to do it. But I've seen, like for example, men in Dubai or Bedouins in the Middle East that they have one woman or two women, and it's completely different when you hear in in this life that you live in America, that everything is either black or white. It's a lot of type of marriages. It's a lot of type of relationships. It's not one model and that's it. We go just by that. But I'm saying in general, when a man cheat, it's not like a woman cheat. If a woman cheat, she literally doesn't love her spouse. If a man cheat, he can have sex with a woman and forget about it the next day and go back to the woman he loved.
Do you know the reason why a man cheats?
Yeah, I mean, so I think I can see what you're saying here from a logical standpoint. So I do think that they have different natures, and that what you're saying here makes some sense. That that men don't have the same emotional attachment that women do, and
That's
so
what
if
I meant.
women are stepping out, they're kind of showing the ultimate sign of I don't care about you. Whereas for a man, it could be purely physical.
Yeah.
Right? I get that.
Exactly like you said.
Yeah, I get that. But then wouldn't that kind of move towards a model of a one-size-fits-all marriage? It should be one man, one woman. There should be some
One
type
man,
of,
one
I don't
woman.
know, behavioral modifications which happen so that this does work?
Listen, in America, in most of the open countries, I mean free countries, yes. But I've seen models in the Middle East. Okay, I know women that marry to a guy that have 2 and 3 women, and they live perfectly fine. They don't have a problem with that. One of them taking care of the children, one of them having sex in this night, one
Because
in
they
this
don't
night.
have another choice.
It's not
There
true.
Because
That's not true.
there is no way to find another guy,
It's
so
not-
they just settle
it's
for
not true.
accepting the circumstance.
I thought like that too, but it's not true.
Well,
I
wait,
literally know.
that argument makes no sense, because if multiple women were attached to one guy, then wouldn't that create a surplus of women for the other men?
No, they have
Or, I mean, I'm sorry, a
sisterhood.
surplus of men for the other women? It would
What?
create a surplus of men for the other women. So I don't understand how
I
that would
don't
limit
understand what
women's
you
options
said.
exactly.
Sorry, explain to me because I really didn't understand what you meant.
Well, she was saying, well, look, it's because they have no other choice, right? They're limited by
Yeah.
option.
Yeah.
But that can't really be true that they're limited by option, because if multiple women are with one guy, right? Then
Yeah.
wouldn't that create a surplus of men for the remaining women to choose from? That's
So
what
I was talking-
I don't understand. I don't
Yeah,
understand
I was
that
talking
argument.
about the mentality in former Soviet Union, within Slavic republics and so on. The numbers did not match up starting from the World War II. There is more women in some areas than men to begin with.
Yes.
So, like in some parts of Ukraine, there is like 3-4 guys to 3-4 women to one guy.
Also in Israel.
Okay, so it starts same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it starts that
Yeah,
there
I mean,
is
I agree
not
with this
enough
point, yeah.
males
And a
to
lot of the
begin
men
with,
die.
and so men they have their pick. Yeah, so women have no choice but to stick to the guy who is married to them, no matter what he is doing, because they just know there
Okay,
is.
let me try this. Let me try this a different way. We'll make it super easy. You're on a desert island. There's 10 women and there's 10 men. Okay, and 5 of the women pair off with one of the men. Okay, leaving 9 men and 5 women. Which group has more options with the other group?
Men.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Who said what? Who said men?
Oh, wait,
Who
hold
said men would have more options with the other? Who said that?
Me. I'll own it. I don't
Everybody
care.
has equal options if they choose right for themselves and pair up
Everybody equally.
together. But you say
Yeah, I
there's
know, I
10
know, I know,
women
but-
and
but
10
let's
men,
try, hang on,
right?
Let's try this again. Let's try this again. There's 10 men and there's 10 women. And 5 of the women pair off with 1 man, leaving 9 men and 5 women. Which group has more options to choose from
The
than
women.
the other
Of
group?
course the women.
Yes, the women. Yes, the women. So that's why I didn't understand your argument. It made
No,
no
I do
sense. I was like,
understand.
what are you talking about? That makes no sense.
Also, Andrew, if you put one man on an island with a few women, right? With one man, we can literally create a village. With 10 men, we can. If you put one woman, right? If you put one woman, it's completely different. Women build different. Women can have children. Men can inseminate. How do you say? Pregnate. Yeah, pregnate so many women. Men come to actually release their sperm. Sorry to say that on live. Put their sperm everywhere.
You're giving a lot of emphasis to this releasing of the sperm thing. A lot of body language on the whole releasing the sperm thing.
But it's like that. Physically,
A lot
listen,
of like, they're
physically.
releasing it, right? Like they're setting it free. They're setting it free.
She swallowed at the same time.
Because I'll explain. Because men, when men have sex, you forget about it. When women have sex, they get attached to more. It's different. Everything completely different for a woman and for men. And women don't get that.